Hurry! Hurry!
Welcome to the 2000 United States Disc Golf Championship at Winthrop University's spectacular Lakefront Gold Course in Rock Hill, South Carolina. Brought to you by our title sponsor, Innova Champion Discs, the leading manufacturer of disc golf products since 1983. Innova Champion Discs, #1 in disc golf. Log on at innovadiscs.com. Also brought to you by the Professional Disc Golf Association. Founded in 1976, the PDGA is dedicated to the promotion and management of the sport of disc golf. Log on to pdga.com. Also brought to you by Coca-Cola. It's the real thing.
Hi, I'm Bucky Worboys, joined along with former world champion Sam Ferrans. Sam, tell us what we can expect from the course and the players.
Well, Bucky, we have a great course. We have some great players, and there have been some changes on the course due to construction. Still a par 63, but it is playing a bit tougher than last year. The premium is still on accuracy, placement, and strategy, rather than brute force and power.
Well, the players competing in this year's event have done so through regional qualifiers taking place throughout the past year in North America. The single biggest difference is the format, which has been adopted after traditional golf. Players will be teeing off at specific tee times over a 4-day period, as opposed to traditional disc golf, which is done through a shotgun format.
The stage has been set for some great disc golf.
Now, after 3 rounds, let's take a look at the leaderboard.
Sam, here are our competitors for the final round. Of course, Kenny and Barry, part of the final foursome last year, joined by Scott Stokely and Ron Russell. Just great galleries all week long, along with some fantastic weather.
Absolutely, Bucky. The stage is set for a great final round.
As we see Kenny approach the pad and line his shot up, choosing a rock, you can see the concentration on his face.
Nice and smooth. Looks to be a little left. Oh, that's extremely fortunate.
Yeah, and as I had mentioned, he had thrown a rock there, one of Kenny's favorite discs, ending up about 15 feet from the basket. Up next, Ron Russell, 1999 world champion, was in the second group. As you know, last year didn't fare very well, of course, under some tremendously inclement weather conditions.
Big drama between the two champs, with Kenny only 1 stroke ahead.
As Ron lines up his shot.
Shot looks to be left, and big
Catches the tree.
disappointment. Big disappointment.
And Scott Stokely up next. Scott, one of the most gregarious golfers out there, always lighthearted, and of course the current distance world champion and good friend of yours.
Colorful character, crowd pleaser, Scott Stokely. It's so important to get started on the right foot here by earning a 2.
Scott lines up.
Uncharacteristic of Scott.
Turned it over about 35 short of the basket and right. And Barry Schultz, also along with Kenny, part of the final foursome last year. And again, Barry also had a difficult time in the final round, but those weather conditions made it for some tough golf last year.
Wonderful, wonderful sportsman. Good luck to Barry.
One of the smoother golfers out there, as you see Barry lining up his shot, going with an Aviar, which is his approach disc.
Shot looks to be left and hits the tree.
He too, 3 out of 4 catching the tree on the first hole. Well, you can see that the jitters are in effect. We'll be right back after these messages.
It is more than sport.
spirit. Ritual. Family. The Coca-Cola Racing family. Refreshed by Coke.
Now, Sam, as we see Barry set up for his second shot, this hole's 224 feet, and it's what seemingly appears to be an easy hole. What's happened?
Well, Bucky, what we're seeing here is the first hole jitters.
As Barry approaches, it seems to be a bit high.
Not a bad shot, 10 to 12 feet away.
And as we see Ron settle in. Now, Sam, from this distance, is he trying to make this shot?
You know, at this distance, it would be a bonus if it went in. I think the mindset is to get down in par or 3 and move on to the next hole.
Wow.
Excellent, excellent upshot from Ron.
About 5 feet away. Ron's got to be pleased with that shot. As we see Scott approach his disc. Now, he's about 35 short and right behind a tree. What's he going to do here?
Well, he won't be able to employ his standard putt, so we're going to see a straddle putt from Scott.
As he's changing up his disc. Now, will he try to make it from this point?
Absolutely. I'm thinking he's gonna go for it. He's going to need to score a birdie on this hole to get off on the right foot.
Oh. Just hitting the facade of the basket. Only about 5 feet away. Didn't seem to be affected by the wind.
It was a good try. You could see the tension on Scott's face.
Now as Kenny sets up for his putt, got a real nice kick off the tree. And he's in for his birdie.
Solid putt. Big mental advantage for Kenny there.
Now Ron, with his great upshot, he's about 4 to 5 feet away. And Barry putting for his par. Now, Kenny made his birdie putt with a good kick off the tree, Sam. That puts him up 2 over Ron on the first hole. What kind of an advantage does that give him?
Well, I mean, mentally, it's huge. He's 2 strokes ahead, and Ron has got to be feeling the pressure, but there's lots of golf left.
And by no means is he out of it.
Absolutely not. Here's our leaderboard after hole number 1.
Now first up on hole number 3, Kenny.
You know, this hole, Bucky, can be extremely intimidating. We have the wooded area on the right, and we have OB lying to the left.
As we see Ken's shot coming in. Appears to be a bit left and close to that OB marker that you mentioned.
It's extremely important to trust your disc on this hole. Players are certainly gunning for a 2 on one of the more gettable holes of the course.
As you can see the focus on Ron's face for this shot.
He's certainly going for a 2.
What looks to be a smooth shot.
It's good and low.
Coming up a bit short and a little bit left.
Doesn't appear to be too happy with that. He's got a long putt.
Now Scott getting ready to throw one of his patented sidearms. Very effective shot for him.
Seems to be a bit right.
Ooh.
Into the wooded area.
Certainly going to be a difficult shot from there. As we see Barry get set for his shot. One of the smoother throwers that you'll find out there. Barry's certainly looking for a 2 here.
Looks to be a bit high.
That 2 finishing left. Oh,
Just out, just OB.
finding the out of bounds marker. Seemed to be a bit strong on that throw. And you can tell he's dejected.
Not happy with that.
Well, as we see the great gallery following for the final round, Sam, let me ask you, It's about 25 feet difference from the tee pad down to the basket in elevation change. How do the players negotiate that?
You know, it's so important to get your disc low and flat. We don't want to mess with the OB on the left. And as we saw with Kenny and Barry, their discs were a bit high, and Barry suffered the consequences.
As you can see from the flag, there's a bit of a wind out there. Seems to be a bit of a tailwind. Now, as we see Scott, and his shot having found the woods, as he comes out to survey it, what does he need to do?
Well, the key here is to find a good shot out, and I think what Scott's going to do here is to maintain, try to get some good body balance for his putt.
Now, of course, he can't just back in to the leaves there. He has to get in there in a way that least displaces the foliage around him.
Right, and he's got to be concerned with his follow-through, too. He doesn't want to be encumbered by any branches or trees.
Now, as you can see, about 45 feet from the basket, and actually a good chance. Left himself with about 5 feet. Certainly a great run at the basket.
Looked to be a little tentative.
And fast.
I'm thinking he rushed that.
Now, as we see Barry here, you can see the blue marker there from where he's gone out of bounds, and he'll take his 1 meter in. This is a crucial putt, Sam. If Barry misses this, he's going to take a bogey on this hole and lose another stroke to the field.
Absolutely. The mindset here is for him to make this putt and to move on with the 3 and stay up with the group. Critical putt.
Excellent putt for his par.
He's a technician.
Now Kenny, from about the same distance, maybe even a couple of feet closer, and doesn't appear to be much wind.
About a meter and a half inside the OB.
And Kenny just hitting the bottom of the basket. Uncharacteristic of Kenny to miss one that close.
Very frustrating for putters to hit low. You'd rather be high.
Ron jamming it in there for his par. Aggressive with that putt.
Seems to be relaxed and focusing.
Scott tapping in for his par from the woods.
Could have been much worse for Scott.
Well, Kenny missed an opportunity there to get another one on the field, and Barry certainly saved a great putt.
Here's our leaderboard after hole number 3.
We'll be right back.
In the heart of the Carolinas, you'll find a university that offers the best of what college is all about. National caliber academic programs. A campus environment steeped in tradition, yet with a vision for the future. A diverse and high-achieving student body. A faculty committed to teaching. Large enough to offer a variety of opportunities, and small enough to care. Winthrop University. The Carolinas never looked so good.
The signature hole here at the Winthrop Gold Course is hole number 7. It's a 1,053-foot par 5. With OB both on the left and right, you find water from the basket all the way to the tee on your left and a road on your right-hand side. With the ground sloping right to left towards the water, a premium is placed on accuracy, more so than distance. Barry Schultz up first on the tee of hole number 7. Sam, it's 1,053 feet and certainly a hole that you can card a high number. It's a hole that can make or break your round.
Par 5, no one has ever eagled the hole.
Now as we see Barry set up for his drive. Sam, where's the premium placed? Is it on distance or is it on accuracy?
Absolutely placement above length. And you can see from Barry, that's a textbook shot there.
Now, does Scott Stokely have an advantage as we see him set up being able to throw his sidearm as well as he does?
Absolutely. We can expect he can throw it 480, 500 feet. Extreme advantage on this hole.
Now, is that because it plays away from the water?
Yes.
Okay, as we see also OB on the other side of the trees as we see Kenny set up for his shot.
Looks like it's going a bit right. Catches some trees.
Well, Kenny's not certainly not pleased with that shot.
No, he knows.
And as Ron sets up for his shot now.
Looks like there's a bit of pressure on Ron here. Everybody's successfully placed their discs into the fairway.
As Ron uncorks a big turnover shot.
Good orientation and nice placement, Ron.
Juliana Bauer, three-time women's world champion, opted out for the women's division and an easy grand for the testosterone-laden men's division. Her course management and cool demeanor helped her to defeat over half the men's field. Friendly, yet fierce, Juliana is as competitive as they come. That's why it's no surprise that she narrowly missed cash in 37th place. Now Ron, the furthest out, is first up, Sam. And again, we're looking for placement here over distance?
Absolutely. Placement is crucial.
Looks to be a good shot. Turns over a bit. And right in the center of the fairway.
It was well thrown.
Now Kenny's up next.
He's close to the trees. Attacking it a little differently. More risk involved there.
He's taking it out over the road with a big hyzer shot. Looks to be a great shot.
Great shot by Ken Climo.
Setting himself up for a tough decision there for his third shot. Now Scott, again, I would imagine, as we had spoken earlier, he must have the advantage here with the sidearm.
Yes, he does. With the left to right shot and the spin and the angle of the disc, it should fare well for him. It looks low.
Oh, and catching the water.
Well, that's OB.
As you can see from the flag there doesn't seem to be very much wind, so just a miscue from Scott?
It appears that he just underestimated the shot.
And now Barry up. Perfectly thrown drive. Set up perfect for an easy second shot.
He's in great position. Turns it.
Oh no, he's heading for the out of bounds.
Oh, catches the bush.
That will be fortunate if he's remained in bounds.
He's not happy with that.
Boy, did he let one slip away there. You can tell that he's not very happy with that shot. Now, with the conditions as benign as they are, Sam, as we spoke earlier, this is a hole that you can card, and as Barry well knows, last year, taking a double circle 7 on this hole, the conditions are just perfect.
They're perfect, but again, we can expect scores on this hole from 4 to 10.
As you see the gallery approaching the golfers for
Beautiful hole.
For their third shot.
Arguably one of the best holes in disc golf.
Now Ron, is he going to go for this, Sam? He's down 2 strokes. He needs to get
If I was Ron, I'd be gunning for it. 450 feet, and it looks like he got a good launch.
Well, he's certainly going for it. It looks to be a cross.
Beautiful shot.
Fantastic, about 25 feet from the basket. That's just a great third shot from Ron.
He is set up for a birdie.
Now, as you can see, Barry, I guess he did come down in bounds, but being that there's no relief from any natural encumbrance, he's got a difficult third shot here, Sam.
Yes, he does. And again, placement being key. He does have that tree situated very close to his throwing arm. I'm thinking that a safe shot is mandatory here. And again.
And exactly as you called it, taking it wide around the big trees. And
extremely safe.
Extremely safe, but in a position where he can get up and down from there. Now as we go over to Scott's lie.
Now the group here has to determine where Scott went out of bounds so they can give him an official mark.
Now if he did hit the ground, then of course they give him 1 meter from where his disc last hit, but if that's not the case, then he has to go back to where his disc initially crossed the out of bounds over the water.
With a penalty.
Of 1 stroke.
Yes.
Well, they've determined that he did in fact hit the ground there. As you see, he's just checking the wind. Now let me ask you, Sam, as Ron went for the shot, is this a position, knowing Scott's distance, is this a shot that he's going to go for?
He certainly has potential to throw much further, and he's the distance champion. There's got to be some ego with this shot, and I'm wondering if indeed he will go for it.
Well, certainly the conditions are set up for him to go for it if he so chooses. He looks like he's just having trouble making that decision. Well,
very uncharacteristic of Scott, being that he is a crowd pleaser, to play safe and smart, but I think that's a smart play.
And he's left himself in a perfect position.
There's Barry, he's reflecting.
Now Kenny for his third shot, in a position to go for it, certainly.
Smooth.
Now he seems to be playing safe.
Very strong and somewhat conservative. I think a bit long and wide for his liking, but certainly safe.
Well, you can tell by his reaction, he's not very pleased with the end result. Now Scott, after having laid up on his third shot with a penalty stroke,
throwing 5. Again, utilizing his talent, his sidearm.
Big hyzer. And coming up, well, right at the basket.
About 45, 50 feet.
Now Barry, for his fourth shot, he needs to get up and down here after just a tremendous tee shot.
And a great shot from Barry.
Excellent.
He's got to be relieved with that.
Well, certainly you saw it there with Barry's play on this hole, the ups and downs of this hole, with a perfect tee shot, and struggled a little bit there in the middle. Kenny with about a 50 to 55 footer for his birdie. Oh. Just missing, and you can see the dismay there.
Now Ron certainly is going to have the opportunity to put pressure on Kenny if he makes the putt.
Scott setting up for his bogey shot. Oh, just bouncing out. So he'll take a 7 on this hole and card a double bogey. One of those high numbers that we spoke of, Sam. Now Ron's got a chance here to put some serious pressure.
Beautiful putt. Ron played the hole perfectly.
Well, there you have it. He gets one back from the champ as Kenny taps in for his par 5. And both Barry and Scott yet to tap out. Well, again, Barry riding the roller coaster there on that hole with the best tee shot of the whole bunch, and unfortunately having to settle for a 5 there.
This is the drama of hole 7.
And Scott tapping in for his 7, which is a double bogey.
Here's our leaderboard after hole number 7. Hole number 8, 370-foot par 3. We have a lake on the left side, formidable trees guarding the basket, which is placed on a small man-made beach. Players will really have to work for a 2 on this and risk OB.
After that stellar birdie and picking up a stroke on the last hole on the champ, Ron's up first on hole number 8, which sets up well for him, a big power hyzer.
You know, this hole requires both accuracy and power.
That looks to be a bit short, Sam.
Oh, in the water.
Finding the out of bounds. And your luck can change just like that. You can see that he is just dejected on that shot. Barry's up next. Now at 370 feet, and Barry not known for his power, you would think that he would have somewhat of a disadvantage on the for the length of this hole.
But again, accuracy being a premium, Barry looks a lot more relaxed. Well thrown shot. Textbook.
And with a skip, leaves himself about a 30-footer, but he does have the OB just on the other side of that basket, so certainly he'll be thinking about that putt. As Kenny steps up to the tee, again, this sets up perfect for the champ. 370, just a big hyzer.
Smooth. Picture perfect.
Coming in nicely. Oh, a
very nice.
perfect shot.
On the beach.
And obviously Scott, with his power and his distance, just a little walk in the park with this 370-footer.
Very lackadaisical. Coming in. Almost an ace run.
Hitting the pole and absolutely parking it right
beach.
underneath the basket.
So we have 2 splashdowns on the sand and 1 splashdown in the water.
Well, Sam, there you see it. As quickly as Ron got that stroke back, he's on the ropes right now, having gone out of bounds with Kenny parked underneath the basket. It's going to be tough for him not to lose 1 or more strokes.
How quickly things change.
Ron sets up, needing this for his par.
Very quick. Very quick. This is Ron's style.
And you can see that he's not very pleased, knowing that he just gave 1 back.
Barry from 25.
And just a great putt right in the heart of the chains. With the OB on the other side, no fear. He put it right in there.
Excellent putt.
Now as Kenny taps in for his birdie, that's now a 2-stroke swing. So the one that Ron got back on hole number 7, well, he's not only given that away, Sam, but he's also lost 1 here.
And Scott with his near ace run. Spectacular performance. Kenny now has a 3-stroke lead.
And you can see from the look on Ron's face that he's just dejected. He's very down and out after that.
Here's our leaderboard after hole number 8.
Now up on the tee at hole 9, Barry. Eyeing it up, looking to see where he's going to place this shot. As you can see, heavily wooded.
OB on the left. We have a mandatory on the right. He opts for the straight drive. Well thrown. Right in the middle of the fairway.
Just a perfect shot.
He's happy with that.
Considerably better than last year. Barry found some trouble on this hole last year in the rain. Now Kenny up. Also with an air shot.
And we have numerous options on this hole. We can opt for the straight air shot down the middle or a roller. I've seen many players throw rollers on this hole.
And as Scott gets up to the pad, coming off that great shot on hole number 8.
And he opts for the roller.
And catches a tree. Well, as Ron approaches the pad here, Sam, you can tell he's got to be feeling a bit somber over that bogey from the last hole. Now, what is he doing over here on the left?
Well, he's checking out the trees that he can't see from the tee. Give him a little better perspective.
Okay, as he eyes up the shot. I've noticed that Ron has a tendency to be somewhat quick on the tee pads.
Looks like he's throwing a roller.
Wow.
Way right.
And it seems to have hit the retaining wall. Well, his face says it all. Hole number 9 sets up as a difficult par 4 592-foot shot. With a couple options off the tee, you can either go straight down the fairway or break a disc off towards the right. As you approach the hole, it becomes increasingly more difficult, with OB both on the left and the right, demanding both a conservative yet accurate shot. Now as Scott approaches his first shot, Sam, he's got a tough shot here. Now it looks to me as if he's going to be throwing a sidearm. Is that a wise choice? This is a difficult shot.
That is a good choice. He's got OB on the left. He's got OB on the right. He's got a slanting hill that could catch his sidearm. And he's going to be able to throw it hard, which is a plus. Narrow alleyway.
As he waits for the gallery. There's got to be a little pressure on this shot to execute. I mean, we're talking about a 592-foot hole. It's not a walk in the park. This is a tough, it's a par 4, but they're looking to get birdies on this hole, and that makes it tough.
Very difficult 3. Just threading the needle.
Wow.
Great shot.
Boy, and he makes it look so easy.
He is an expert.
Now, as you can see, Ron surveying his shot some considerable distance away from the basket. Now, from his perspective, actually where his disc lies, he can't see the basket. How much more difficulty does that put into his shot?
Oh, extreme difficulty. We have even a mandatory for him to think about on this one. He's really going to have to pinpoint his shot.
Now, is that fence, that little retaining fence that he hit, is that going to come into play? Will that affect him, or will he be able to tune that out?
Well, he'll be able to tee at least 30 centimeters back from the mini, and that should help.
Okay, again with no wind, because this is an extremely difficult upshot on this hole because it narrows with OB on both sides.
Turning. Looks like it's going to the right.
Oh, wow. And that's 2 shots that are way right.
Spectators diving.
So a couple of wayward shots from Ron Russell after coming off that disappointing 4 on the last hole. He's found a bit of a slump. And now Kenny getting set for his second shot, perfectly placed in the fairway.
Straight, smooth. Looks to be a bit long, but on the path. Putting.
I thought he was long in the basket. I think he was right next to it.
Kenny looks a little frustrated. Having used someone down at the basket for positioning, it looks like he has gone by, and he's certainly a little frustrated. Now Barry sets up here, Sam. He's got just the best tee shot of them all. Not much trouble here for him.
Well, there is alleys, and there is an alleyway, and left and right are obviously we have the OB to contend with. He is in the best position.
Just a beautiful,
Excellent
smooth
shot.
backhand. Oh, and he gets a good kick off the tree, and it nearly went in.
He's happy with that.
Now, as the gallery approaches, Sam, what's going through Ron's head here? He's thrown 2 wayward shots, and he's lost 2 strokes on the last hole. What does he do to regroup here?
He's got a gun. Obviously the last couple of holes he's been gunning his putts in. I expect for him to commit and go for this putt.
Again, with an elevation change, probably 5-foot differential. Oh. Just missing right side.
It's went considerably past the hole, and that could possibly give another stroke up to Kenny.
Oh! And Kenny with a little roller coaster there for his par.
Great putt.
He knows he got away with one there. And Ron just inside of Kenny.
Difficult putt.
for his par.
Clockwork.
And makes it, but has lost a stroke to Kenny's birdie on that difficult par 4 592 footer. Barry with what looks to be a fairly simple birdie putt.
Great putt.
Very nice. Barry Schultz with back-to-back birdies on hole 8 and 9 after coming off that disappointing 5 on hole number 7.
He's really putting well.
And Scott with that great upshot. One of the best parts of the weekend right there with that upshot of his, and that's again for Scott, that's back-to-back birdies, so he's kind of feeling it.
Here's our leaderboard after hole number 9.
Kenny with a 5-stroke lead, Sam, steps up to the pad here on hole number 11.
One of the few deuceable holes through this recent run of holes.
And a backhand roller.
Actually reachable by most of the field. Shrubbery on the right, lime trees on the left. Kenny left that shot a bit wide.
Now at 342, it shouldn't be that difficult. It's just that they do have to bend around that corner in order to get it close. So the optimum shot here is a roller, correct?
The backhand roller. And incidentally, a lot of the players are using the chapel as a point of reference for the roller.
That you can see in the background there. Now, is this a shot where Scott might try that sidearm?
I would no, actually, I believe that he's going to go ahead and throw a backhand roller here.
Just a higher percentage for him? Is that what it is?
He's just got a multitude of tools and shots.
Well, obviously is. He puts it very close right there.
Excellent shot.
And now finally Ron.
Stutter step and a roller.
Now, Sam, let me ask you, going back to that stutter step of Ron's, what is the significance of that?
I think it's just feeling on the tee, feeling the shot. Feeling's everything.
Kenny with a long putt. Oh, just outside.
Oh.
Ron Russell needs to hit this if there's any chance that he's going to come back. Beautiful putt.
Great putt. That was a fantastic putt. Let's go ahead and take a look at that again in some slow motion. Maybe you can explain explain what Ron does with his putt here.
It's pretty rare that actually that putt went in.
Great, certainly a great putter nonetheless. And Barry, from about 40 feet, the edge of the bushes, an important birdie putt.
As he has proven throughout the holes, he is just a fantastic putter.
He is indeed. And that leaves Scott's, or his short tap in for birdie.
But certainly not easy.
And again, as you can see there, Sam, from the flag, that there's very little wind today, so the conditions have just been optimum. Now Kenny, obviously, he'll poke in for his 3. And Ron, having picked up a stroke, now only 4 back from the champ with a difficult hole to come.
Savagely difficult holes to come.
One competitor to make a splash this week, Nikki Ross. Let's take a look at some video of our youngest competitor ever to play this event. Nikki Ross, a 3-time junior freestyle champion with a smooth style, on her way to making a name for herself in disc sports. Fresh off his birdie from hole 11, stepping up to the tee on the 1,196-foot hole. It's a par 5, number 12. What's his goal here, Sam?
Monster hole. This hole can hurt you. The goal is to get the disc straight down the fairway as far as possible and in bounds. Big throw.
Tons of air.
Flex.
But it looks to be wide right, and it is. Planing out and going considerably OB, and you can see the look on his face. Sam, let's take a look at that shot in slow-mo and tell us what happened there.
Addressing the shot. Good run up, smooth. Good release, just a little to the right.
Maybe rolled his wrist.
I believe so.
Now Stokely up on the tee, again with his big gun.
Big advantage, one of the best rollers in the game. And this looks like a controlled roller.
Nice and safe right in the center of the fairway. As we see Ron up on the pad.
Ron, also smooth. Stutter step and a roller.
He's got a very fluid form.
Very, very fluid. Looks good.
Oh, looks. Oh. And it looks to have found some trouble over there. There's some bushes that line the OB side there. And a little patch of grass in between that and the sidewalk, and Ron's not sure what's happened. Boy, he just got a stroke back on the last hole, and who knows if he can capitalize on it.
It's going to be a tough next shot for Ron.
And Kenny.
Kenny, low, safe roller. And look at that, smart play, right on top of the plateau. He's going to have a beautiful second shot.
Yep, and Kenny likes it. Now, as we see Barry taking a look at his disc, choosing his next selection, he was in fact out of bounds, as you see his disc there, and Ron's just in front of him. Now, taking a meter in from the inbounds, how difficult is this next shot going to be? What are his options here, Sam?
Well, he's going to have to place the disc. He's still got a long way to go, and he's got to have to throw it around that tree and get into fair bounds, just barely.
Narrowly missing the tree and in the center of the fairway.
Very, very good shot.
And now Ron also having found out of bounds, very frustrated. With a
smooth,
big air shot. Looking to just place it in the center. And a perfect shot right in the center of the fairway. You can tell he's upset, though, Sam, from that tee shot.
We have some emotion, and it's so important at this point to keep your head in the game.
Now Kenny with his second shot. Big, towering
Picture
hyzer
perfect,
shot.
Attacking it over the OB. And a safe and perfect shot.
And now Stokely. What looked to be a sidearm.
Just serious speed.
Just a big backhand. And that looks to be hyzering out considerably. And it does.
It's so important to keep those shots low. And that's OB.
As you see the official there marking it, Scott knows he's out of bounds. And he's missed a good shot there. Good opportunity, that is. Barry up next. What will be his fourth stroke, the fourth throw, having incurred a one-stroke penalty on that out of bounds.
Smooth, low.
Oh, and a shot that just curls around the out of bounds. And I'm not sure if that's in or out. Certainly from our perspective, Sam, it looks like it's OB, but the official over there marking it, Barry just beside himself. It just seems when Barry gets something going, Sam, that something like that happens.
Looks like we may need a ruling on that one. Ron, low and safe.
Flirting
be
with
close.
That out of bounds. Oh.
Sliding on the OB. Wow.
And it looks to be safe. Wow, he can't believe it. You can just tell from the look on his face that knowing that he got a stroke back on the last hole, he just can't afford to be out of bounds there.
The beautiful California flag in the background there.
Kenny with a big hyzer shot looking to go over the out of bounds on the left-hand side. When it's rolling, is it going to stop? It's safe. He is safe with an approach from about 150 away. And now Scott taking his meter relief. Now, is he going to try to get it up to the basket on this one, Sam?
I've seen a lot of players, and I've seen Scott take a safety route off to the left. Looks like he's going to unleash one.
And that's just a huge flex shot.
That is big.
And he does go off to the left, as you said. It makes for a much easier approach shot. And now as we come up on Barry's disc, you can see the group coming over to make a ruling.
It's close.
Because there was no official there to actually see it. And as you see him there tying a string between the two OB posts.
It appears that the issue is the OB line, whether it'll be the post or the line above.
Would they not use the line of verticality in this instance, Sam?
I believe they should.
But ultimately it comes down to a group call, does it not?
That's correct. The group will have a final say.
Somebody got a set of keys. Where's Mr.
Well, this is obviously an important point for Barry in the round here. He's thrown one out of bounds on the tee. And he has appeared to do it again here on his upshot. And this just could be devastating considering there's still some tough holes to go here.
He does not need this stroke.
That's what I would have called it right there. That's perfect.
Well, it appears from the marking that the ruling is going to be in his favor.
It's inbounds.
And that's in fact what they do. So he's spared one there and dodged a bullet. As he lines up for his approach. Typically a routine approach shot, would you say? But Ned, the pressure's on. I mean, he's almost put a second shot out of bounds.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Routine, but all sorts of things can happen.
And he's put it safely within putting distance.
Very, very good.
Now you can see from that flag that the wind has kicked up a little bit, which obviously makes this hole much more difficult. And let's face it, it's the final round of the 2000 United States Disc Golf Championship. There's some pressure here.
Absolutely. Ron, another routine shot.
And you can see from the flag that his shot is somewhat downwind. And he too is safe. Oh, he's nestled it right up there.
Very well played.
Kenny with his approach shot. Looking to just put it close enough to hit that putt. And he too nestles it.
Nestles.
And you can see he's getting a little cheer from the crowd for Kenny.
Scott going for a putt.
Oh,
wow.
Wow. That's one thing he doesn't lack, is guts.
And he's having a good time.
Making you work, eh?
And Barry
sinks it.
Barry in for his sixth. Scott also putting for his bogey. Kenny safely in for a 5, and Ron touching the pole, but his is also for a bogey, having thrown his first shot out of bounds. So that one stroke that he got back on hole 11, he gives it right back, Sam. It's back to a 5-stroke lead for the champ. Are there enough holes left?
We have a few holes left. There still may be a chance.
Here's our leaderboard after hole number 12. Hole number 14, 432-foot par 3, the toughest on the course, with the ground sloping right to left, away from the players, and OB encompassing between the tee and the sidewalk, a difficult shot to keep close to the basket. As Kenny steps up to the pad on the toughest par 3 of the course, hole number 14.
I agree, Bucky. This is a risk-reward hole. The closer you are to the pin, the greater the risk of going OB.
Now Kenny looks to have uncorked a great shot here. Well, actually, it does look to be a little bit short. Is that by design?
Well, that was a conservative shot, Bucky. He still has a chance to make the putt, and he's 6 strokes up. Conservative play.
Now Scott, it looks to be going out to check the wind. Again, not much wind for the entire round, let alone on this hole. Now, I would imagine that he's going to throw his sidearm here.
Sidearm is the smart shot. It enables him to get to the safe area the quickest and keeping his disc in the fairway the longest. It's a smart way to go.
And just a powerful shot, towering.
Bullet.
Heiser.
Long and left.
Wow, that leaves him a long putt. Now, being only one back, he's got a chance. And Ron, now that looks to be a bit left and low.
Left and low and short. Safe. Very safe.
Now Barry nursing a 1-stroke lead over Scott at this point. Certainly has the ability to get it there. Will he play safe as well, or do you think he'll go for it?
I think the smart shot is to play safe. He's going for it.
Oh, and he's turned it over. He rolled his wrist, it appeared,
Oh,
and is out of bounds. Now he has to re-tee, correct?
he has to re-tee. Back to the bag. The other players move away.
Now he knows, now the pressure's really on, because he knows that Scott's probably going to pick up at least 1 stroke.
Man, oh man.
He needs to get up and down from here.
He is again going for it.
Wow, he has just ripped a great shot.
This looks great.
And he parks it. Just a phenomenal comeback.
Unbelievable. You know, this is what separates Barry from the rest of the guys on tour. Excellent mental game. To be able to do that under that pressure.
Yeah, you can see there from his reaction that he was not very happy. But nonetheless, a great follow-up. Now Ron's second shot. Right up there for his easy par. Stokely for his second. If he hits this, he could possibly go up 2.
Considerable distance away. Wow.
Oh. An incredible run there. You can see Scott a little frustrated with himself there. Thinks he should have made that. Kenny for his birdie. Right in the park.
There's the reward right there.
Just as you said, now with a 7-stroke lead and 4 holes left, Kenny's in the driver's seat and he's on cruise control. And an amazing 4 from Barry.
Incredible.
After being out of bounds. 3.
Buried the putt.
After having gone out of bounds, Scott's just got to be beside himself, thinking for sure that he was going to pick up at least 1 stroke, and he walks away with nothing. Both with a par, and Barry still with a 1-stroke lead. And Ron safely in for his par. And Kenny with the lone birdie on 14 and a 7-stroke lead. He's in complete control and on the tee at hole 15.
You know, Bucky, this is a must-get, and if you want any chance at a decent score, you need to score a 2 on this hole.
And Kenny just poking his rock out there, 282 feet, just beyond the basket, but certainly within putting distance for him. As you see the leaderboard there in the background, And I think the crowd's going to be pleased with that shot, sure enough.
Very nice.
Up next, Scott Stokely. As you can see, the wall there, just a small opening. Now it looks to be that Scott's going to throw his sidearm.
I guess it's easier for him to get over the wall that way.
Oh!
Almost bounces it in.
Just a great shot coming about 5 feet beyond the basket, and a great shot from Scott. Now up next, Ron. Just an easy little hyzer shot. Oh, and he too with a great shot.
Very, very well played.
Just a bit left of the basket. And finally Barry, who's now even with Scott. And boy, he's had an up and down round today.
You can't help being on the tee but think of the close proximity of the wall.
Oh, and Barry
Boy, oh boy.
just put one way left. I was going to ask you, Sam, that when you do tee off, I mean, with the wall as close as it is that going through your head?
Absolutely, absolutely. I know we've seen the pieces of pot and wilted flower on the ground from the semifinal round, so many other players as well thought about that.
Well, as the players approach their shots, there you see the leader in disc sports technology, Innova, with their trailer in the background there. And the gallery sticking it out all day long and being treated to some great golf. Now, Barry, this is a crucial putt, Sam. He's got to hit this because you have to assume that Scott's going to make his birdie putt. If he doesn't hit this, he's now down one.
Big pressure on Barry. He's been putting well all round.
Let's it go. Oh.
Big disappointment for Barry.
It just seems, I've got to tell you, I think that the wind just came out of his sails there on that OB shot on the last hole. And now Scott almost assuredly going to pick up a stroke to go one up. Kenny for his birdie.
Very nice. Just very nice. Great punch.
He knows at this point that he's got it. And Ron safely in for his birdie. And you can see the distaste on Ron's face. He's not happy with the way he's played today. And Scott with his birdie will now go up one over Barry. So what a change of events in 2 holes.
Absolutely.
Here's our leaderboard after hole number 15. Hole number 16 starts a stretch of 3 tough finishing holes. It's a 587-foot par 4 with OB water on the left and OB street on the right. A group of trees about 350 to 400 feet down in the center of the fairway with an elevated green also guarded by bushes. We'll be right back.
Innova Champion Discs, the technological pace setter in disc golf. Innova's continuing design innovations and product improvements keep Innova the #1 name in the sport. Our popular lines, such as our Pro Series and Champion Edition, dominate the professional tour, while our DX line contains the most requested models among new players. Innova's precision molded discs meet the demands of any shot, regardless of the player's skill level. Whether you're a hardcore competitive player or simply love the outdoor fun and challenge of disc golf, Innova is the most popular and complete line of golf discs.
A 7-stroke lead and in complete command. Climo on the tee at 16. What's he thinking here, Sam?
Well, Kenny's cruising at this point. He's taking it home. The pressure's off, and I'm thinking he just wants to get a 3.
As we see his roller.
Very good roller. Great placement.
Pushing a bit off to the right. Now Scott's up next. Barry missed his putt on 15. Scott's pulled even with him. How's this hole set up for him?
Well, Scott definitely has the potential to reach this hole, and I'm thinking he's going to launch one.
587 feet. It's a par 4.
This is his hole.
Well, and you know he's a gallery pleaser. I'm sure he's going to do his best to launch one here.
Big power.
Wow.
That's huge.
Just a massive tee shot.
That's at our 500-foot marker.
Holy cow. That's just a big shot. Now Ron up next. Now this is a crucial tee shot for Ron. We've taken a look at the leaderboard and seen that his second place may be in jeopardy here. He needs to really do something here, right, Sam?
It is crucial that he gets a 3 on this hole.
Ron with a big roller.
Another roller.
And that, too, looks to be a good tee shot in a nice position there.
Good placement.
Now, as I alluded to earlier, I had mentioned on hole number 8 that Barry's not known for his power. May have misspoken there. Is it because he's so smooth that I may perceive that he doesn't throw far?
Barry definitely has the potential, and he's kept up with the 3 other guys during the round.
And Barry with a big sky roller. You may have remembered last year that because of the bad weather, Barry clipped the wire and had gone in the water and didn't fare very well on this hole. But he certainly uncorked a great roller there, and he's happy. He likes that.
He's happy with that one.
Now as Kenny approaches his shot.
A few trees to contend with, but should be no problem for the champ.
Kenny's second shot. About 35.
He set himself up for a showcase putt.
Now the ideal play there, Sam, is it to put it at the base of the rocks? Just get it close.
Base of the rock, ideally on top of the rock area.
Ron for his second shot.
Big Anheuser turnover.
Nice shot. He's close enough to hit that putt. Now Barry with a big roller for his second shot. It's important that he gets this one close. Very, very smooth.
And again, a turnover shot there.
And
very well played.
Right at the base of the wall. Now Scott with the longest drive, 500 feet. He's looking at about 80 feet in, Sam.
He really wants to hit this one.
Is he going to go for this?
Absolutely. Big Anheuser.
Oh! Holy cow. Sam, let's take a look at that in slow-mo.
Scott, good position. Nice follow-through. A slow turnover shot. And a slight fade back. Beautiful. How close was that?
Wow. Now, is he throwing a putter there, Sam?
I believe so. That
Short range disc?
That was a putter.
Now Kenny here for his par.
Solid. Picture perfect.
Excellent. A great 3, and as you said, Sam, he's cruising. He's taking it easy.
Ron is feeling the pressure. Very important putt.
And he's in safely for his 3, so that is big. Two crucial holes left, though. By no means is he out of the woods. Now Barry needs to make this to stay tied with Scott.
He's in good position.
He's safely in.
Drops it in.
And Scott with that beautiful upshot, almost knocking the birdie down. And Scott safely in for his 3. With a tournament certain to produce remarkable shots, none could be more incredible than Ken Climo's 1999 U.S. Disc Golf Championship, hole number 17, hole in 1. Well, Sam, is he thinking about it?
Maybe he's hoping for a repeat ace on this one.
Not a lot of wind. And a worthy shot coming up a little short, a little left, but certainly within his range. And Scott. Now, does he go backhand here, Sam, or does he sidearm this? What's
Old
more
reliable
effective?
sidearm. He's, again, the angle away from the lake, safest shot.
Okay. Smooth little flick shot.
Very, very well played.
Excellent. And now Ron. He knows the pressure's on here. It's important that he gets a great tee shot here as well, right, Sam?
Absolutely. He needs to make it on the green. Everything else is OB.
Lots of pressure. The fact that there's no wind helps these golfers a lot.
Critical hole. Looks close.
Oh!
That's in
And
the water.
goes in the water.
Oh.
Hits the basket and goes in the water. What an unfortunate break.
What else can happen to Ron Russell?
Oh, no. Now, Sam, he's got to re-tee, right?
He has to re-tee.
And now Barry,
Mr. Smooth.
seeing Scott right under the basket, knows that he, too, has to put it close.
Sweeping Heiser.
And
Great
just
shot.
knifes it right in there. So
Boy.
he
He's-
answers the call.
He's relieved.
Now, how big is this?
This is huge, Bucky.
I mean, his hopes for second place look dashed at this point. He's got to get this on the green.
Great shot. Great shot.
He's
Ron.
on there, but boy, he's certainly on the ropes. And we've got one of the toughest finishing holes in golf here, hole number 18 at the Winthrop Gold Course. It doesn't have a lot of friends, that's for sure. Sam, let me ask you a question. Talking about Kenny's ace, when these guys step up to the tee on a hole like this with the conditions as benign as they are they thinking about making a hole-in-one?
Well, first and foremost, they're trying to get it into the green because, as I said before, everything else is OB. They have to re-tee otherwise. Now, it is a bonus if it goes in.
Right.
Most definitely.
So we see Kenny here for his birdie.
Beautiful.
Now, a
beautiful
hole
putt.
this tough, I would imagine you'd see some big numbers carded. And Ron. Wow, just an unfortunate break. He hits the basket, comes inches from getting a hole-in-one, and has to settle for a 4. He's got to be just chafed about that. Barry in for his birdie.
Barry needed that one.
Boy, we certainly got a good setup for the last hole. With the two of them tied, there's going to be some serious pressure.
Here's our leaderboard after hole number 17.
Well, Sam, one hole to go. Kenny both relieved and elated at the same time.
He's got to be a happy camper. He's played a great tournament over the weekend, finishing hole to the clubhouse. Can't climb up.
Of course, Barry and Scott.
Great camaraderie, wonderful sportsmen. They're tied at this point.
And Ron certainly has to be disappointed with his play this round as Kenny approaches the tee. Sam, a hole that's not talked about very much, but one of the most difficult finishing holes in golf.
OB lines the entire fairway.
560-foot par 4.
And
Kenny.
he's just looking for a good placement shot to finish out his great round.
Getting caught behind a tree a little bit. Kenny, with his course maintenance, you know he's not going to be happy with that, but certainly he's in no trouble there.
It's going to be tough.
Now Scott up on the pad. He's in a three-way battle, having looked at the board with Eric Tracy and Barry Schultz. It's important for Scott to get off a good drive here.
Big advantage with the sidearm. And boy, does he throw that well.
Great position.
Perfect.
So now the pressure steps up to Barry here because now he has to match that shot.
He does. And he'll be throwing either a backhand air shot or a backhand roller.
As you see, we've just had beautiful weather all week long as we come down the stretch here, the final hole.
Barry with a backhand roller. Good angle. It's on top of the plateau. He's got to be happy with
Just
that.
a beautiful shot, about 50 feet in front of the champ, and he's set up perfect for his approach to the basket of 18.
Got to be happy with that one.
Now Ron, feeling certainly disappointed, as I had alluded to just a few minutes ago. Ron has got to pull off a good shot here. He's already lost second place to Al Shack at this point, so he's just scrambling to get a good score, right?
Yes, and he has also thrown a backhand roller on this one. Looks to be good angle. It's gonna, looks like it's on the bottom of the fairway. Tough upshot from there.
On the low side of the hole. Can't be too happy with that. Definitely some work left. Well, you see Barry there and Ken in the background. Ken, 2 years in a row.
2 years in a row, the victory walk. The clubhouse in the distance.
Now with a 7-stroke lead, what does that do to the other competitors?
Well, obviously they know that they don't have a chance to catch Kenny, but I think they want to finish strong. Everybody's watching. Well played tournament by all.
Actually, it is a 6-stroke lead, as I misspoke over Al Shack at this point. As Kenny approaches his shot here, just remarkable. Came back, claimed the World Championship title. He's back for his 2nd year in a row in the lead group. And Kenny's just played phenomenal all week long, but play that's indicative of the champ.
He is a true champion. Make sure that he has enough swing. Quick.
Certainly with no pressure on there with his lead. He just is looking to get up and down. Even if he takes a 4, it's okay. I mean, that's a par. Certainly these guys are all going for the birdie.
Looks like Ken may have gone OB.
Now Barry. Let's talk a quick second about Barry. This is 2nd year in a row here for him in the lead group. And he hasn't played very well 2 years in a row. A sign of a true champion, though, the fact that he was able to get back.
He has not. Oh, looks like Barry has also gone OB. Certainly hasn't lived up to his expectations, but is playing well nonetheless.
Now as Scott approaches his shot, actually, yes, it is Scott that's out. Now he's in perfect position.
Absolutely.
Will he do another sidearm here, or?
No, I'm thinking Scott's going to go with a backhand.
Okay.
The slanting downhill green.
Right.
Very difficult to negotiate.
Sets up better for the backhand because
Yes.
of the angle that it comes in.
Nice strong throw. Perfect shot.
Excellent. Now Ron, having won his first championship and the only person to dethrone Ken in the past 9 years, winning in 1999, and battling here this week with his 2nd shot. What's the competition like between he and Ken?
Ron with a low skip. 5 skips. Perfect. Looks like it may have gone OB.
What goes through Ron's head in a situation like this where he knows, I mean, Kenny won the world champion back from him, and he's played well this week. I mean, how hard is that on you as a player?
Oh, it's got to be hard, Bucky. I mean, he's a world champion, and it's hard to swallow.
As we see Barry trying to get a call on where his disc went out of bounds. And again, this does not bode well for Barry because he's in a tie for 4th place with both Eric and Scott at this point. So he's certainly going to drop a stroke here.
He really needs to be careful from this point. Fine galleries all week. Kenny with a little drop in.
Just a safe layup for him.
Safe layup. He knows.
Looking for.
Very relieved, happy.
Now, in fact, Kenny was out of bounds there, so he will incur a penalty stroke. But with the commanding lead that he has, it certainly doesn't affect his score.
And you have to be careful here because if you catch anything, you may roll, and you could end up OB.
We see Barry in his patented straddle putt.
Final hole. Boy, boy.
Certainly holding nothing back there. And
He was going for it. Ron Russell.
Ron puts out for his birdie, and a great birdie at that, considering his tee shot. Certainly the rivalry is going to continue between both he and Ken.
It's a never-ending battle.
Scott, just not real sure if he wants to go at it
Difficult
straight away.
putt from that point.
The elevation change makes it a demanding putt.
It's a good putt, Scott.
And Barry, as you see Kenny approach his shot, getting congratulations from Ron and some of the other spectators. Got to be just a great feeling in a tournament of this magnitude. Certainly the premier tournament has come on strong in the last 2 years. Compared to the World Championships, people referring to this as the second major.
Yes. Kenny, how many times has he walked the victory path?
And you see him getting hugs and congratulations from his caddy, Dave Greenwell, a champion in his own right. Well, Sam, we've been treated to some great golf and blessed with fantastic weather all week long here at Winthrop University's Lakefront Gold Course. As we look at the final results, to see Al Shack and Eric Tracy with a great 55 in the final round puts Al in second and Eric in a tie for fourth.
David Greenwell, the highest finishing master, in 7th place.
Looking down the board, we see Jim Myers, the current Masters World Championship, finishing in probably what would be for Jim a disappointing 12th, considering he had one of the low rounds on a windy early Thursday tee time.
Dr. Rick Volks, who was in the Final Four last year, finishing 15th.
And Stan McDaniel, Masters World Champion on this very same venue in 97, finishing in what would be for Stan, I'm sure, a disappointing 27th place.
Don't forget to mention Juliana Bauer, the current Women's World Disc Golf Champion, who beat more than half the field and bruising many a male ego.
Well, certainly a historic event, Juliana being part of the men's division. She opted not to play with the women because she did qualify for this tournament. And let's be honest, she probably passed up a chance to pocket an easy grand. Well, Sam, as a player and a competitor both, tell me, what are you going to be taking away from this year's tournament?
Well, Bucky, this was indeed one of the most challenging courses I've ever played. I thoroughly enjoyed myself, and I'm looking forward to returning next year for revenge.
Well, if we take a look back up at the top of the leaderboard, it's no surprise. It's the second year in a row he's regained his title as world champion. And I think the ad that you see in Disc Golf World News for Innova and Ken Climo says it very aptly, that Ken Climo's not back. He's never left. He's possibly starting a dynasty here at this tournament, winning $2,000 and also a round-trip ticket to the tournament, the Japan Open in May of 2002, correct?
The Japan Open in May of 2002 will be billed as the 150 class World Disc Golf Championships. Stay tuned.
Well, for Sam Ferrans, I'm Bucky Worboys saying so long from the 2000 United States Disc Golf Championship.